Hey guys, so it has been a long time since I talked about politics on here. Because for the most part, I do try to avoid it. I just don't think that my opinion is going to change anything. It also is like, I don't care enough. That's terrible, but it's true. I do. It's once again a thing where, like, I don't think my opinion's going to matter. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to whatever, right? Life is still going to suck at the end of the day. Okay? But that's just depression talking. So let's get into some politics and let's talk about it. And keep in mind, if you have a different opinion than me, that's totally okay. Like, by all means, we need to have different opinions in life. If we were all the same, it would be incredibly boring, right? But anyway, so as far as like everything goes, I think the most pertinent piece of political controversy right now is ICE. Right? And for the most part, I've seen a lot of people being against it, and I'm super grateful for that, okay? Here's the thing for me, okay? When it comes to student loans or whatever, I'm very much the type of person that's like, you took them out, you gotta pay for them, right? And while I agree that, like, selling these loans to kids that are like 18, 17, whatever, right, signing up for these loans, I guess they would have to be 18, I don't know, is morally gray at best, right? You took it out, you should pay for it. I work really fucking hard, like really hard to have what I have, right? And I struggle to get by, and I work a lot and whatever, and I pay a lot in taxes already. So the idea that I would have to pay more, but to like cover other people's student debt and things like that, right? Some people are like, oh yeah, that wouldn't bother me at all. It would bother me. It would bother me because it has taken me this long to graduate, and I haven't taken out a single student loan. All right, and it's gonna take me longer. Here's the thing, we clear the student debt now, right? There's just going to be more accrued. People aren't going to stop taking out loans. That, like, we take care of their business for them, and they're not going to learn their lesson. All right? That's my thoughts on student loans. I would not, I'm against getting rid of student loans. That annoys a lot of people. I don't care. I don't care. And it is selfish to some extent, but it's also not. Once again, I pay enough in taxes. I work a lot, and I don't make nothing. I give a lot of that to Uncle Sam. It's frustrating and annoying as hell. Okay? So I'm not trying to pay off your student debt. I got my own bills to pay. That's terrible, but it's true. So when it comes to like immigration, my thoughts are a similar but not fully, right? Obviously, I'm against ICE, okay? I just want to preface that before y'all stop listening. I'm against ICE, okay? But when it comes to immigration, it's also like, you do something illegal, well, I don't know what you expected to happen, right? I get it, I do, all right? You wanted a better life, and that is awesome, and 100% worth fighting for. Why you came here now, I don't know. I don't know, right? But maybe they came here years ago and they're just now getting reprimanded for it, which is sad, okay? Because they've already built lives here, they've got friends here, they've got families, they've got whatever, right? And it's not just them that's being affected, right? It's not just the person who immigrated here that's being affected. And that's what bothers me about that, okay? I mean, the whole thing is kind of bothersome, right? But like people who are for getting rid of immigrants or whatever, I can see their side, is what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm not for it. I'm not. Right, but I can see their side. Because of what I said about student loans, I don't want to pay for somebody else's debt, right? And that's like, you knew what you were doing when you came over here. You knew it was a crime, right? Actions have consequences, all right? And those consequences, I don't know. It's like the old saying, my right to swing my fist ends at the other person's face. Okay? So, like, yeah, you do you until it affects somebody else. And unfortunately, immigration does affect the entire country. But here's the thing, right? let's think about that for a second. People are like, oh, what's so wrong with immigration? Well, it takes away jobs. Well, in the time that this ICE has been like taking people out of the country and things like that, I haven't seen any increase in jobs. I've seen significant decrease. Like a disgust, and part of that's AI, but it's also like, y'all thought that like clearing out the immigrants would build jobs? No, it didn't. It didn't bring back American jobs or whatever. We're not saving ourselves. No, it didn't. So you can take that as like, that's not even an argument at this point. So now what do you have? No, because that argument is invalid. The jobs we have, like, once again, just significant decline. Taking out immigrants has not helped at all. So I don't want to hear the job argument. Okay, now what do you have? What do you have for clearing out immigrants? What's your argument? Does it boost the economy? Because as far as I'm concerned, if they're here spending money here, I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, some of that goes back home to their families. But what's the difference between that and us like traveling abroad? You know, I don't know. It's all similar to me. So like, now what's your argument against immigrants? Because I feel like every argument against immigrants, there's an equal and just as valid argument for, you know? So now the concern is like, okay, so all of that can be argued back and forth, whatever, to where it's just, both sides are just totally invalid. It doesn't matter, right? So now the argument is ethics, okay? So once again, it is the concept of like, you did a crime, you should be punished for that crime. But should everybody around you also be punished? Are we back in kindergarten where like one person speaks up and now we all have to sit in silence? No, right? You came here illegally, but now your grandkid is being punished for it? Now, like, innocent people who are not immigrants or whatever are being punished for it. Also, like, and again, like, let's trace this back. Y'all wanna trace it back, right? You want to talk about like, oh, these kids should also be punished because their parent, whatever, right? Or these grandkids, or like whatever, should be punished because somewhere in the line somebody was an immigrant and came here legally. Should we all go back to England then? Should it just be natives here? See, where does that stop? Where does it stop? Here's my thing, right? The ICE and MAGA and things like that is so parallel. There's too many parallels to Hitler and the Nazis. All right? Because Hitler was very much like fucking Donald Trump. All right? His charisma and thirst for power and whatever, and ability to obtain it, cunning ability to obtain it, is what kept him in play. Okay? It's what afforded him the ability to commit all of these atrocities. And we're seeing the same thing happen right here, right now. Okay? Trump and his, I cringe at calling it charisma, but his like, people skills, if you will. All right? And power hungry and whatever is affording him way more power than any president has ever had before, and is allowing him to commit these atrocities under people who follow him blindly. It is very similar to, like, I see so many similarities to, like, Hitler and the Nazis and things like that. Like, too many similarities. It's uncomfortable. We are living in what will eventually one day be the next, like, Holocaust. Obviously, it's very different. Obviously, it's very different, right? And I'm not saying it's as bad, but we're getting there. And we're just all like sitting here like little ducks being like, okay, we wondered why like nobody did anything back, we wondered why people were so okay with it, why people were Nazis, whatever. Here's my thing. I don't even hate the people that work for ICE. Once again, jobs are hard to find. Like, they're just trying to feed their families. All right, they're just trying to feed their families. Plus, like I said, the people are so convinced by the words Trump's. It blew my mind when he was elected the first time, and it blew my mind even further when he was elected the second time. Because we've seen him in action. We knew all of it. Like, it's so clear to see all of his flaws and things like that. And we elected him again, but this time by the popular vote. What the fuck? I was like, are we for real right now? Did we not learn our lesson the first 4 years? No? Oh, so now we're gonna... But, like, if he has that kind of pull, if he has that kind of power, if he has that kind of sway over people's minds and opinions, I'm not even mad at the ICE. I mean, I'm mad. But not at the people in it. Alright? That's just ducks following the fucking leader. Okay? Those are just sheep. Right? I'm mad at the entire concept. I'm mad at the fact that this exists. I'm mad that it's happening. I'm mad that people are dying. I'm mad that somebody has the power to influence that so much. And like, it's not even just, it's everything. Right? The everything just fueled by, there's so much corruption in that's why I don't talk about politics really. This is so mind-boggling of a concept. I don't want to think about it. It's depressing as fuck. Okay? And once again, it's mind-boggling to me that this type of shit can even exist in 2026. It's like the history and all of this access to knowledge or whatever that we have that's so easy for us to access and like learn and whatever. We don't give a fuck. We're not even using it. We're just rehashing the same terrible shit. I just don't, it's hard to grasp that terrible things like this still exist and will continue to exist until the end of time. Like, I'm sure Donald Trump isn't even going to be he's going to be a blip in history. He's like, this ICE shit is just yet another sad day in the American history that, like, we're going to learn about 50, 100 years from now, and it's just going to keep replaying itself. There's going to be somebody else. Somebody else is going to be the next Hitler or Donald Trump or whatever, and we're going to do the same shit, and it's just annoying. So, anyway, yes, I am very much against, like, everything ICE stands for and things like that. Very much against pulling people away from their families. I'm against killing people for no reason. I'm against committing crime, I guess. But, like, you do what you gotta do for your family, so I'm not against immigrants. That'd be so white no, it's not actually a white person. That just is like a stereotype. It'd be so hypocritical of me to be against immigrants. I just think it's very hypocritical. It's very weird that anybody is. But anyway, that's what I gotta say about ICE. So.